Yo guys, it's me Matrix here, coach of the Welsh Wailords. However, this time I'm bringing you a live premiere. And it's a live premiere for the VDL Week 2. And this season in the VDL, I'm not actually competing. However, with me today I have got Toots of the Suffolk Suicune. Say hello, Toots.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
This week we are bringing you the matchup between Kershaka and who is it again?
The Emboars and Silvallys.
It's the
Silvallys.
the Conway Emboars versus the Crushing Silvallys, and some everything. That's it. Some everything is playing the Crushing Silvallys. Two new players to the VDL scene. So without further ado, let's just get this live premiere underway. So here we go. The video was recorded straight into the match, so we don't get to see the team preview straight up. However, I've got this lovely little layout on the go, and you should be able to see basically what the teams, the Mons, brought for either side. So we've got Curse on the left here. We've got Micah, who is Micah, who is playing the for the Crushing Silavallys. Straight up, we can see that Curse has brought Gardevoir, Rillaboom, Tornadus, Crustle, Raichu, and Lapras. And this is going up against Micah and their Mawile, Landorus, Noivern, Meowstic Male, Tapu Koko, and Garbodor.
So a sack of rubbish.
Yes, quite literally. So
looks good. Looks like a fun matchup, to be fair. Crustle being the kill leader last season in the VDL, so
we saw last season with Batista. He absolutely killed it with Crustle last season running the mono bug team. So I'm expecting big things from Crustle this season. Looking at this matchup, this is under Series 10 rules, so no Dynamaxing, and it's an interesting matchup. We've obviously got the Tornadus here who could be running Tailwind, more than likely be running Tailwind Prankster. We've got Rillaboom, which everyone knows is a huge threat with that priority Grassy Glides, especially when Mons can't just max to take the damage anymore. We've got Gardevoir, which could be running Trace, Telepathy. It's got the Crustle, which often enough will use Shell Smash, or it can be a bit more supportive with like Wide Guards and stuff. We've got Raichu, which has got the Lightning Rod, which I suspect is ready for that Tapu Koko on the opposite side of the field. It also gets Fast Fake Out, Speed Swap, Nuzzle, really versatile Mon. And you've got Lapras. Even now in Series 10, even without Hammered G-Max, it can be quite the defensive wall. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens here.
Not as common in... Lapras not as common in Season 10, but...
No.
It's still a bulky water type, can do some good things.
And I imagine it's also coming to threaten this Landorus that's coming on the opposite side. We've both got a Landorus and a Noivern, both of which are 4 times weak to ice. So,
absolutely, get some ice shards going on the Lapras. You never know. It could be physical Lapras. Who knows?
It could be physical. Could be freeze drying. It could be ice beaming. It could be ice crashing. Well, I think it gets avalanche. I'm not sure about ice crash. And then on the opposing side, we've got dual intimidate here, Mawile and Landorus. Really here to try and oppress the Rillaboom, the Crustle. So it's nice to see that there's a special attackers from the Curse's side to count for this. We've got the Prankster Meowstic, so two Prankster Mons on either side. We've got Tapu Koko with the Electric Terrain. We know how strong and fast Tapu Koko can be, especially with the boost from Electric Terrain. And we've seen in some of the other league matches so far how crucial Terrain has been as part of their winning strategies, especially the Psychic Terrain users so far. And then Garbodor, which honestly I haven't got a lot to say about. Garbodor, as you said at the start, it's a trash.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, that potentially is there to take out the Rillaboom as well, or the Gardevoir.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Type. But things of note that I'm noticing straight away. You've got Tailwind on both sides. You've got Terrain on both sides. You've got Prankster on both sides. So good matchup right from the start.
Got decent fake out options. We've got the Garbodor.
Meowstic.
Yeah, and Garbodor, as you say, yeah, I missed that for a second. It's there. It's a good check for Rillaboom. It takes the grassy glides well. It does take some damage from like high horsepowers, but it also counters Gardevoir to an extent. If it's maybe running Assault Vest to take some hits and then one shot the Gardevoir in return. Looking at this matchup though, I don't see an immediate threat to the Crustle. Maybe the Mawile with some steel moves, but even then, it's not overly strong.
Yeah,
Crystal seems
Landorus can potentially do some work, but
yeah,
there's no immediate threat. But I think it looks like a good matchup to me. So
yeah,
I'm excited to get into
yeah.
it.
So let's get into it. I'll see if I can get this video playing, and hopefully, everything's okay. We'll be playing. Hopefully, it's not too loud. I don't think it is. For you viewers, but it's fine. So, I wonder what they're going to lead. Okay, so we see the Landorus and Meowstic male lead from the Crushing Silvallys side against Lapras and Tornadus. Now, here, there could be a fake out coming from the Meowstic into the Tornadus to prevent it from setting up this Tailwind on turn 1, and maybe a Rock move from the Landorus. So, let's have a look.
Yeah.
So we go.
Yeah, mine's extremely laggy. So if I'm a little bit behind, I apologise.
Sorry about that. Yes. So we've gone for an Icy Wind and Protect. Icy Wind and Protect, which is what I'd expect the Tornadus to do. In case of this Meowstic going for this fake out straight off the bat and allowing Landorus to get a kill off the start. And Icy Wind allows it to get the speed control without having the need for Tailwind. So, get this Protect off from Tornadus.
Yep.
Oh, and fake out into the Lapras, calling the Protect from the Tornadus. That's kind of interesting. To stop the... But, as we say, that Lapras chunking. The Rock Slide hits. Get some leftover recovery.
Yeah, Lapras taking it, but then I suppose Lapras is the immediate threat.
Yes, exactly. So at least he was able to stop that from going off. He's obviously not too worried about the Warrior Tailwind, but here Emboars are free to just go for the Tailwind, freeze dry it into the Landorus. I'm actually kind of surprised that there wasn't a switch out from the Landorus here. So let's have a look to see what happens.
Yeah.
Goes for the Thunder into the Tornadus. Oh. So this is looking to be... If this Landorus is actually faster than the Lapras under Tailwind, I imagine this Landorus is actually Choice Scarfed.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
And, that flinch was huge.
I'm missing most of this. What you're saying and what I'm seeing are slightly different. It's extremely laggy. So.
Oh, I'm very sorry. We can just pause the video for a second and get you the link so you can watch alongside me if you wish. As we've gone for the Protect. Yeah, let's do that.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sort of on catch up. It's fine. It's just I probably won't be. If I do, I'll let you do the lead commenting. If I comment, then I might be a little bit behind. So.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry about that. It's so difficult to get this streaming brilliantly on my little laptop, but that's fine. From the looks of it, we saw a Protect from one of the Mons that turn, and then the Rock Slide, which, as I say, I think was Choice Scarfed. And we see the Lapras go off the Icy Wind to try and gain more speed control on that Landorus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good play, makes sense.
I'm trying to think here. The Side Shock was just some damage from the Meowstic. Takes out the Lapras. That's nice. Picking up the KO, getting away that immediate threat for both the Noivern and the Landorus. I imagine Tapu Koko is in the back for the Silvallys here. And we see that the Crustle comes out and the Raichu is actually the one that's in reserve. Now, this Crustle, depending on how it's been EB'd, may or may not outspeed this Landorus after a speed drop and Tailwind being put up. The Tornadus goes for a Swagger into the Crystal. Must be running a Lumberry. Maybe maybe a Lumberry to cure this confusion.
Yeah, there you go.
Parisian Berry. Oh, very good.
Oh, Parisian Berry. Yeah.
Gets the Reflect up. And it is outspeeding this Landorus now. And at +2, nice KO on the Landorus. That was definitely going to KO there.
Yeah, good damage there. Nice Meowstic getting the Reflect up there as well, just to minimise the damage a little bit.
When I saw this Swagger come out on the Tornadus when he first sent it out, I was like, he's definitely got some sort of Swagger text here somewhere. Now, where is it? And it's on this Crystal. Really cool. We've obviously seen Swagger own tempo before in previous seasons, but being very creative here with the Swagger into Lumberry, which is actually first game popular back in 2012 meta, back in Black and White, when the GDs first came out. There was a lot of Swagger Lumberry plays there, back at the World Championships. Let me see the Protect from Tornadus again.
Yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna comment on Finny used to get Swagger, and it was quite popular, I think.
Yeah, Swagger tapping Finny back in Gen 7 was really popular when it had access to it. We see these
good damage there on the Draco Meteor.
A Jetpack Neuven. Now this was seen by Otto back in week 1 with his a Draco Meteor, a Jetpack Salamence. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's good as well, and a jetpack can be useful as well for if you're against intimidators. If you've got an intimidator on the other side, you can just pop your jetpack on there.
Exactly, and that Rock Slide just picking up the KO on the Meowstic there. The Neuven's been able to reposition again. Okay. And with the Crystal being paralysed now, even the Tailwind won't allow it to outspeed. So this Neuven's free to just go for another attack into the Crystal. The Garbodor might be running something that could do something to the Crystal. I don't know what Garbodor really has, but maybe just a pure Gunk Shot could just be enough to KO at this point. And with both Crystal and Tornadus being paralysed, it's going to be difficult. So you're kind of risking here. So...
yeah, I think that Meowstic's done its job, really. Paralysing both these and finishing off the Lapras, so that's... yeah, it's done its job.
Okay, and that's Swagger off. Do we see RNG come in? Oh, the RNG does hit the Neuven. That's huge here. Yep, there's the ground-type move into the Crystal. Isn't enough. And that Rock Slide doing big damage, but... less damage than I anticipated into that Neuven. Even though Reflect is up.
Yeah, not quite enough to get the KO, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it looks like it's all coming down to a bit of RNG here, because this Neuven is going to have to go for an attack to try and KO one or both. Will it be able to break through the confusion? Oh, okay. A late game Tailwind for the Garbodor is an interesting play there. Gets the KO.
Yeah, especially if
Crystal.
If the Emboars get a couple of full paras, then...
Now, yeah, I'm not sure if this was the best play to have done there, because of with the double paras on, I think that the Neuven could have KO'd the Tornadus there, and then the Garbodor could have KO'd the Crystal before either of them moved. And then it would have been a Garbodor and a -2 Neuven versus a Raichu, which is still a better position to be in.
Absolutely.
We see a fake out from the Raichu into the Garbodor. Will he protect? No, he does not protect. Crit fake out.
And a crit.
Yeah. Oh, it misses anyway, so... just cycles a turn.
Hurricane miss.
I'm curious as to what item this... the Garbodor is Citrus Berry, and it's got Stomping Tantrum, so it's going to be doing damage to this Raichu. Is the Raichu Focus Sash? I can't remember if we saw that. Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
And see, this is a saying, getting that Tailwind up before, I don't know if it was the best play. Because if you had a Garbodor plus a Noivern, I think the could have won this out, especially with that Tornadus being paralyzed.
Power.
Yeah. Full power coming in there. But it's not enough. Tornadus going for the Tailwind to counteract the opponent's Tailwind. And the Raichu just being able to be faster now to outspeed the Garbodor. So, yeah, we see the Conway Emboars picking up game 1. I think we saw a lot of tech in that game.
Definitely, and a full power that turn when the Tornadus was going for the Tailwind, and that could have ended slightly differently, to be honest.
Yes, 100%. If there was a full power on the that last turn where the Tornadus went for the Tailwind, then the Garbodor could have picked up the KO on the Raichu. I don't know what other moves this Garbodor has. Probably Stab Poison, and it could have been enough for that Tornadus in the end game. I do think they should have targeted down the Tornadus a little bit sooner instead of setting their own Tailwind whilst the two Mons were with Thunderwave on the Paralyze on the field. Oh, we see a blunder policy Gardevoir. Sorry.
No, nice. Yeah, no, you're right. Especially as the Noivern was already faster because of the powers on the field, so the Noivern could have got some damage off, and then potentially still been around the next turn to set the Tailwind.
Yes. I see, though, the other reason why they might have gone differently is because they still don't know what that last Mon in the back was. It could have been the Raichu, it could have been the Rillaboom, it could have been the Gardevoir, and both of all these other Mons are still quite fast and might have been a little bit more difficult for him to have fought for the end game with. But we're seeing a Rillaboom here with an Adrenaline Orb.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. Obviously, Adrenaline Orb, speed.
Niche item.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of creative sets. I don't actually know what... I don't know how I would play this this next game out. I think the Crushing Silvallys need to identify that this Crustle is a little bit of a threat. Also, maybe target down the Tornadus a little bit sooner, because as they saw, the Meowstic did its job. When it left on the field, the Meowstic was able to disrupt the opposition, and this Tornadus is also kind of creating this disruption as well with the Swaggers, the Tailwind. So,
yeah, the Prankster ones are just, and when you first come into the battle, you never know whether the Prankster Mon actually has an attacking move or not, and that's something you've got to consider. Whether they actually do or whether they are just stay. So sometimes you can just leave them sitting knowing they can't do any damage, and other times you need to pay them a bit more attention.
Now this is interesting. We get a double ice weakness lead off the Silvallys after facing a successful Lapras lead in the last game. Risky opening play, but you get the Frisk to see their items, which he already knows. We've seen Speed Swap Crustle plays here, possibly. And this is the situation to be in, is who do you fake out? Do you fake out the Noivern? Do you fake out the Landorus? However, this Noivern doesn't need to immediately set Tailwind for itself or the Landorus. But it might want to set Tailwind to just be able to outspeed the Landorus into the Raichu.
Yeah.
But, as I say, didn't need to. Went for the air slashes.
Fake out into the Landorus.
Yep. Going for that air slash could have potentially made the flinch on the Crustle, which isn't a bad play at all. The Rock Slide hitting both. This Noivern's actually taking considerably less damage from these Rock Slides than I would anticipate. So maybe it's quite a bulky Noivern. We're going for the hard switch out into the Lapras, which is still going to be taking some damage from a potential Rock Slide from the Landorus, but Earthquake, smart when paired with the Flying type.
Yeah. Good
and
work.
Obviously this Landorus again, yes, it's Choice Scarfed, which is really good here.
Yeah, even after a speed swap from the Raichu, it's still going to outspeed, because obviously being with us.
That is interesting. The Raichu was faster than the Noivern. I don't think I noticed that before. but I'm pretty sure Neuven has a higher base speed than Raichu does, so maybe the way they've been EV'd is just different. Ooh.
Yeah.
Going for the Draco Meteor into the Raichu. Maybe he's expecting a switch out from the Raichu there with a Volt Switch. Catching that Tornadus on the switch in. Really good prediction if that was the case. And able to just reposition after that Draco Meteor. Still haven't seen what this Lapras is going to do yet. Now it's switched him. Ooh, and Tapu Koko also comes. But this Landorus is Choice Scarfed into Earthquake, so this is an interesting position.
Yeah.
I realise there's not a lot of time in these matches to be able to to go over everyone's ideas. Like, I want to hear from you as well. It's just difficult. We see the Raichu switching in to try and get this electric move. But yeah, I expected the Landorus to switch out because of it can't go for that Choice Scarfed Earthquake next to Tapu Koko.
No, absolutely, yeah, and yeah, I'm still sort of running a turn behind, so I'm still on catch up, but it's fine. I'm happy for you to you keep going.
No worries. Dazzling Gleam off. Dazzling Gleam predicting. I reckon he predicted the switch in there from the Raichu and just going for that spread covers for that Raichu switch in.
Yeah, great prediction there. So,
Icy Wind from the Lapras.
Good to get the Raichu gone. Obviously, that's protecting the Lapras from taking any electric moves. So that's that's a great move there. Great turn there for the Silvallys.
Yeah, good prediction. Really helps in position because not only does it was the Raichu protecting his Lapras, it was also protecting the Tornadus that's coming in now. So this Tapu Koko, although is now slower due to the Icy Wind, I think it might still outspeed a Lapras.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
We're going for
unless the Tornadus goes for the Tailwind.
What we're seeing here, though, is the Lapras is switching out into the Crustal, and the Tornadus is going straight for the Swagger, setting up for the next turn. But does this Tapu Koko target the Tornadus? This is the question. Because if the Tapu Koko KOs the Tornadus here, Thunderbolt. Does the Wakam I don't think it survives this, no. And Tornadus goes down, which means he's not able to set the Tailwind up for the Crustal for the following turn. And Mawile going for the Iron Head into the Crustal. This is really good momentum from this Crushing Silvallys. These early turn predictions of switch-ins and switch-outs allowed them to really position up well for this endgame here.
Yeah, great turns, great play.
Yeah, Lapras having to go for the Protect here, expecting the Tapu Koko for the Thunder Punch. Oh, and the Sucker Punch from the Mawile just to ensure the KO on the Crustal as he goes for the Thunderbolt into the Lapras. But I think this is a GG for the Crushing Silvallys here. I think they take game 2, so that's not over yet. Looks like we're going to see a game 3. What are your thoughts so far?
We love a game 3.
We do.
Well, yeah, we do. We love a game 3. This is good. This is some great play here in this match. Some great predictions. If they are predictions, they're really, really good. If they're just lucky plays, then they're really, really lucky. So, good game, good match so far.
Yes, I feel like the Crushing Silvallys were actually just covering a lot of the time for potential switch-ins here, the potential switching outs there, and just getting not so much lucky, but playing it safe with those like the Iron Head into the Lapras slot in case it switched out into Crustal, or just covering himself quite often, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and the Dazzling Gleam, if you go for a Thunderbolt and the Emboars switch in the Raichu, then you've sort of wasted your turn. Whereas if you go for a Dazzle and Clean, then you're getting some damage off, and you're not getting it redirected into the Raichu. So
and
it's sort of you can't lose by doing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a advantageous play no matter which way you look at it, because it's able to chip the Lapras and will guarantee a KO on the 1 HP Raichu on the switching. So yeah, this is the question we see in the Lapras leading this time, which is what I would expect, seeing as he got not hard countered, but that hard Landorus Noivern lead we saw. And we're seeing the bringing of 2 mons he hasn't actually brought yet. He's bringing the Blunder Policy Gardevoir with Hypnosis and the Adrenaline Orb Rillaboom. Maybe, I wonder what this Rillaboom's actually running. I haven't seen the set yet, but like Adrenaline Orb is a weird weird item to run on a physical mon.
Yeah, definitely, because you've got a boost to your speed, but you've got a drop to your attack. So yeah, you're going faster. You're going first potentially, but you're not hitting as hard. And also with a Rillaboom, 99% of the time you're running Grassy Glide on grassy terrain. So do you need the speed boost? Be interesting to see how it plays and what sort of the set is.
Exactly. I'm really interested to see this out. Maybe he's got some setup on the there we go. Maybe he's got some setup on the Rillaboom, some sort of maybe Swords Dance or okay, the video's gone. There we go. Maybe some sort of why is this not working now? Okay, there we go. So we see the Landorus and the Meowstic lead, and the Raichu actually has the faster fake out here, so even if this Meowstic has the fake out, he's able to go for it before the Meowstic. Okay, so
and obviously the Landorus can't protect because it's scarfed.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a little bit of maybe a misplay that turn. He could have. I feel like the Emboars were safe to just go for the fake out to the Meowstic and freeze dry the Landorus or Icy Wind it. And then his Lapras wouldn't have been faked out there. It was kind of a null and voided turn. See, and now we get the U-turn off into the Raichu. Big damage. Hopefully he switches in the Mawile here if he has it to take this ice hit from Lapras. Yep. We see the Mawile switching.
Yeah, good switch.
Very good switch. We see the speed swap off into the Lapras, which still isn't fast enough to outspeed the Landorus when it comes back. But should be outspeeding the Noivern now. Yep. Targeting down this Raichu, removing the Raichu, frees up the Tapu Koko, which I expect is in the back here. But Tapu Koko won't be as good against the Rillaboom. Oh, are we seeing the reveal of this Blunder Policy Gardevoir with Hypnosis? Blunder Policy is a really interesting item. Shame that it traced the Intimidate.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I just noticed the traceability, and that would have...
if it traced the Prankster.
If it traced Prankster, that would have been a nice bit of tech, yeah.
Really tasty, that would have been. I have been on the receiving end of a really bad trace.
Very unfortunate.
We go for the Thunder Wave. Oh, good call into the Thunder, protecting the Lapras there. Misses, but here we go. The Blunder Policy is off.
Get that tech out.
Ooh, and this is why I don't like Mawile. Gardevoir's not a bulky mon, but that Iron Head did nothing to in compared to how frail a Gardevoir is, and that was a super effective hit. I wonder if he goes for the Thunder Wave into...
I don't know how it's trained.
I imagine that the Gardevoir has some... done it again, haven't I? Okay. Thunderwave into the Gardevoir. Hydro Pump off the Lapras into Mawile. And Gardevoir paralyzed. No. Yeah, this Gardevoir has definitely got some physical bulk on it to be able to leave these hits. But the Conway Emboars
definitely
are finding themselves in a difficult position here. And this Mawile has Sucker Punch as well. So it's probably going to be able to go for the Sucker Punch to KO this Gardevoir.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be aware of.
Ooh, going for the Protect. It's hard to call because obviously the Sucker Punch, he's been going for Hypnosis each time so far, so he doesn't know if he's going to actually go for an attack or not. Now, trying to figure out each player's end game. We've got this Rillaboom in the back here, but we've also got a potential. We've definitely got a Landorus in the back on the Silvallys side, and a possibly Tapu Koko based on how they started this game off for the Silvallys. Rillaboom struggles against a Landorus, especially after Intimidate attack drop. Oh, we do see that Sucker Punch from the Mawile into the Gardevoir.
Yeah, this is a good play. Good play with the Sucker Punch.
Crit. Gets the KO on the Mawile. Now, I would imagine they bring out the Landorus here because of it being Choice Scarf. Being able to Choice Scarf U-turn. But, oh, we see Noivern in the back, so Tapu Koko didn't come this game. We're both, ooh. So the Conway Emboars are needing to preserve this Lapras so that it can KO
yeah,
the
Lapras is the key.
Yeah, Lapras is the win con here. Being able to KO both Noivern and the Landorus into like one shot in either one. We see the fake out going into the Noivern.
As long as it doesn't get full powered.
Yeah. Fake out into Noivern. Are we going to see a rivet? Ooh. This is actually really interesting. Because of what we saw as a decent positioning for the Crushing Silvallys is soon starting to turn on its head. And the Conway Emboars are just, well, freeze-drying their way back into this.
Turning the tide.
Definitely, definitely. I'm surprised the Noivern came back when the Tapu Koko played such a pivotal role in game 2, to get rid of that Lapras and the Tornadus. Without having a real check to this Lapras for this game 3, this Lapras has turned into quite the threat against both Mons, who are double weak to ice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always a hard call to try and predict who your opponent is going to bring. You know, you've got 6 to choose from. You can only bring 4. Which 4 do they choose? It's always a hard. It's always a hard read. If you get unlucky and you bring the wrong 4 against their 4, then it's always an uphill battle.
And the Thunder Waving into the Rillaboom here from the okay, we're seeing Fly now from the Landorus to dodge this attack. Okay, just trying to figure out in my head now what this Landorus needs to do. But I think it needs too much. Being choice locked into Fly, I don't think it's enough to get rid of this Lapras, and it might be going for Fly into the Rillaboom, which is just leaving itself open. I think this next turn it should.
I don't know if the Rillaboom has Protect.
No. Freeze Dry is pretty free into this Landorus here. as I say, the Christian Silvallys hoping that their Thunder Waves have paid off here as their win con. Need some full powers. Doesn't even remove the Rillaboom. Nope. And it looks like it's going to be GG. It looks like the Conway Emboars are going to bring this back.
Not quite.
Gets the KO and the Rillaboom. But unfortunately, the Meowstic is not going to be able to 1v1 this Lapras here at the end.
No, not unless the RNG is terribly against the Emboars.
Mm. He needs about 6 full powers in a row here. Oh, we got one. We've got one. We got one. How much damage is this Psyshock doing here? This is like a 6-7 hit KO.
Yeah. Yes.
It's. I think
so
this is
unlikely.
Yeah, leftovers, grassy terrain recovery. This Meowstic is not coming out of this one. So I think that's it. I think this is a 2-1 win for the Conway Emboars. It was actually for a minute there looking like the Christian Silvallys were going to do another sweep as they did in game 2, but just wasn't enough. Their positioning just got they just got forced out of position with their Noivern and the Landorus, with the Lapras still being on the field.
Yeah, no, great play by both players. Right down to the wire in that last battle. Then, yeah, great,
So
great set.
What are your thoughts on this match then?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great set. The Emboars winning the first battle, and then the adjustment from the Silvallys in the second one to make it 1-1.
Yeah.
And then that for me, the third battle is always hard because you never know whether your opponent's going to go back to the same combination that they used in the first battle, or if they're going to stick with what happened in the second battle. It's always the third battle is tougher to call what your opponent's going to bring than the first two, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so,
I see that.
Bringing both the Landorus and the Noivern both being 4 times weak to ice. I guess the hope was maybe that the Emboars didn't bring the Lapras. Obviously they did, and it worked well in their favour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough to call, but well played by both.
Yeah, really good game.
Congratulations to the Emboars. And looking forward to watching it back afterwards.
Yeah. One thing I really enjoyed from this set was the creativity from both sides. We never actually got to see what was on that Garbodor, but I do have the set here, and I am really curious as to what their plan was with the Garbodor. Oh, we did. We saw it in game 1, didn't we? With the Citrus Berry. It did have Gunk. It did have Gunk Shot. It was Light Clay, Meowstic, and did we ever see the Mawile get hit by a physical move? I don't think we did, but it was Rocky Helmet.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think no contact move anyway.
Yeah, that's some really good tech. As I say, like we saw an Adrenaline Orb, Rillaboom, which actually, as we saw, had Bulk Up and Drain Punch for some recovery, which is a really creative set. Definitely different from the standard like AV, Miracle Seed sets that we often see from Rillabooms. That Persianberry Crystal was really cool in that game 1 with that swagger from the Tornadus.
Yeah, for sure.
And unfortunately, although we saw the Blunder Policy Gardevoir, it just never seemed to be able to do anything. The Gardevoir just got bullied by the Mawile.
Yeah, that's another unfortunate, matchup and the positioning. If you get it took the hits well, but Gardevoir's just not bulky enough, and it just doesn't have the damage output to take out something like a Mawile.
And then Hypnosis misses, and then the full power, and then the Sucker Punch into it. The poor Gardevoir just didn't have its day. But no, it was a really good match.
Yeah.
I hope everyone has enjoyed the live commentary provided by me and Toots. I understand that I did talk a little bit too much, maybe, but no worries.
No. Not at all, not at all. No, I mean, I apologise for not talking enough, probably, but yeah, I was sort of a turn behind.
Yeah, no,
so
it's my
by the
fault.
time I got to it, no, not at all, not at all. It's my first time doing this, so I'm not a pro commentator by any means, but I enjoy watching, and it was good to have a go.
Yeah, no, it was really great to have you here. So, with that, congratulations to the Conway Emboars. Commiserations to the Crushing Silvallys. I'm sure you'll come back out strong next week in week 3. And best of luck to you both as you play off the next few weeks. Thanks for watching, guys.
Absolutely, yeah. Well played to both teams, and congrats to the Emboars on the win. And speak to you all soon.
See you guys.